Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Today, we're going to be doing a quick review of WWE Day 1, which took place this past Saturday night, January the 1st, in Atlanta, Georgia, at the State Farm Arena. It's the first pay-per-view they've had with the words New Year's in the name since New Year's Resolution, which was back in 2007. So I'm not sure if this is going to be a new yearly thing or if this was just a, hey, let's do it and see how successful it is, because they normally have the pay-per-view called TLC in December. Well, they didn't have TLC this year, so this is the first pay-per-view since November, and now coming up, of course, in a few weeks will be the normal this time of the year pay-per-view Royal Rumble. There was 7 matches altogether, counting the pre-show. If you have seen any of it or all of it, please feel free to tell me what the best match was and what the worst match was. And we kicked off the night with the pre-show match, which was Sheamus and Ridge Holland beating Cesaro and Ricochet. And then we had the Usos beating the New Day to retain the SmackDown Tag Team titles. And then we had Drew McIntyre beating Madcap Moss. Now, we'll say Madcap Moss right now is being managed by the man that's now going by the name of Happy Corbin, and it seems like he changes his name about every 6 months or a year. But now I will say I have never been a big fan of Happy Corbin, whether he was Baron Corbin, Constable Corbin, the Lone Wolf Corbin. I have just never liked Baron Corbin. I would rather watch grass grow than watch Baron Corbin wrestle. But I will say he did an interview last week where he said that wrestling needs to go back to the days where a finisher is actually a finisher. And I completely agree with that, even though I still don't like him as a wrestler. I agree with that. That's probably my biggest pet peeve in modern day wrestling. And it don't matter what promotion, what company you watch, everybody still has a finisher. And it seems like every big time match they're in, they've got to do it 5 times. If you've got to do a finisher 5 times to win the match, it's not a finisher. The word finisher means that's the finish. So I actually do agree with Happy Corbin that a finisher does need to be a finisher. It used to be back in the old days of wrestling that when a wrestler did his finishing move, whatever it was, you knew that was, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the end. Nowadays, you'll see a guy do his finisher 6 times before the match ends. Well, in that case, it's not a finisher. And then we had Becky Lynch beating Liv Morgan to retain the Raw Women's Championship. And then we had RK Bro defeating the Street Profits to retain the Raw Tag Team titles. And then we had Edge beating The Miz. Now, I know Edge just recently turned 48 years old. And I don't know if it's because he pretty much retired for about 10 years or what the deal is, but in my personal opinion, Edge right now is doing some of his best in-ring work in a long time, even though he is 48 years old. And then the main event was originally supposed to be a fatal 4-way, and at the last minute, it got changed to a fatal 5-way. We had Big E, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, and Brock Lesnar, or as Paul Heyman would say, Brock Lesnar. He got put into the match at the last minute, so it became a fatal 5-way, and Brock Lesnar is the new WWE champion. And of course, let's hope this leads to a match with him and Bobby Lashley either at Royal Rumble or somewhere down the line, because there's been rumors of them wrestling now for about 3 years, really, since they both used to be UFC fighters. I think it'll be a phenomenal match. So again, if you've seen any of it, please feel free to let me know your thoughts on it. And if you have not seen any of it, I encourage you to go back and watch it and then give me your thoughts on it. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. Where do pirates get their hooks? Second-hand stores. And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.